To today's primary elections. It's the first time voters are heading to the polls since the start of the January 6th hearings. On Monday, we saw testimony from several of former President Trump's top advisors saying that they told him that his claims of widespread election fraud were baseless, but he pressed on anyway. It's not certain whether any of this information will rattle party support for the former president, but we may get our first indication today as Republicans in Maine, Nevada, North Dakota, and South Carolina consider casting their ballots for his candidates. Our political team monitoring all of these developments from Washington. Let's start with our Joe Khalil with the races to watch today. Joe.
Good morning, Adrienne. You're right. 4 races today that we're watching. We're really now in the heart of this primary season, but you set it up perfectly. One of the big themes that we've been watching for throughout has been what is the influence of former President Donald Trump on the Republican Party and on these races. So far, we haven't really had a clear answer because he's had some big wins. He's also had some major losses for candidates that he's supported. But today's races, especially in South Carolina, are certainly going to tell us more.
Another major test for former President Trump and the Republican Party establishment as 4 states head to the polls for their primary elections. In South Carolina, 2 Trump-backed challengers look to unseat incumbent Congressman Tom Rice and Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Rice, one of a handful of Republicans who voted to impeach the former president, facing challenger Russell Fry. Just this week, Rice doubled down on his impeachment vote.
I took an oath to protect the Constitution, and I did it then, and I would do it again tomorrow.
And Mace, who at times has clashed with Trump's strongest defenders in Congress, faces the former president's handpicked challenger, Katie Arrington. Both candidates running on drilling for American oil and border security.
The border and security crisis that we have, humanitarian crisis at our border that the Biden administration refuses to acknowledge.
In Nevada, Democrat Dina Titus faces a primary challenge from her left. Progressive Amy Villela, a former Bernie Sanders state campaign chair.
Now's the time to elect bold leaders who will fight to change our current system that favors the rich.
And over in Maine, an interesting race shaping up as former Republican Congressman Bruce Poliquin seeking to win back his old seat. A win tonight would put him on a path to challenge the moderate Democrat Jared Golden in what should be one of the tightest and closely watched races come November.
So there's a lot of drama around that, Adrienne. We should also mention that there's another race in North Dakota today. We don't expect any big surprises. And there's a special election race in Texas. It's not statewide, just one race that's replacing a Democratic congressman who is retiring. We shouldn't expect any surprises there either, but certainly we will be monitoring both of those as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.